Good day, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Inspired with Christopher Williams. I am your host, Christopher Williams, navigator and motivator on your journey to achieving your dreams and fulfilling your goals. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Also, for those who tuned into the last episode, we had a great time, got a lot of things in motion, and I think we're on a good road here to continuing to put some great things together and making a lot of history happen, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to keep everything rolling. We're going to get into a little bit more of the business plan, and I kind of think this is more of the fun part of it because this is where you get to be really creative, okay? You kind of really get to just kind of sell yourself in this one. So we're going to talk about today is something called a company summary, and we're also going to talk about something called a startup summary. Now, these are really cool because you kind of really get to kind of feel like, you know, this is really where you get to sell yourself and get to sell the people that are going to be working with you and for you when you start up, okay? So kind of think of this as more of the resume section of your business plan where you really just get to just go all in and tell them really who you are and why you're going to be so great at what you do, okay? So what we're going to do, go ahead and get started. I want you to pull out your favorite pen. I want you to pull out your favorite portfolio because we're going to do some great things and we're going to have a good time, all right? Quick note, just like I said in my previous shows, you can always reach out to me. I'm always here and available to you. OneWilliamsEnterprises.com, Facebook.com/Williams Inc., and OneWilliamsEnterprises@gmail.com. I'm always available. Let me know if you need any help. Let me know if you need some help in regards to anything we've discussed on previous episodes. And I'm going to be right here with you, okay? We're going to get this thing under control, and we're going to make sure that it's going to be as great as you've always dreamed it to be and as great as you want it to be. So what we're going to go ahead and do today is we're going to jump right in real quick to the company summary. Now, the company summary, as I've said previously, doesn't have to be very over the top. It doesn't have to be very hard to do. Because what we really want to do is we want to just break down who we are as a company. First, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to need on startup, okay? Day one, how are we going to operate day one? And this is going to involve a few things as far as supplies. You want to talk about the supplies that you're going to need. You want to also talk about equipment cost. Okay, now this is more specific to you if you're doing something like a restaurant, a salon, any other kind of service industry where you're providing a service or providing a need. And then what we're also going to do, and this is the part I really like, is we're going to talk about your advantage, what makes you you. Okay, and this is where you're really going to start to sell yourself and kind of put your little bit of your personal resume in there. Okay, and just let them know why you're so cool and why you're so great. And then after that, we're going to go into the startup summary as well. And that's going to break things down a little bit about, who you have working for you, what experience they have, and also why they're going to be a good fit for the company. The cool thing about all of this is that it all kind of goes together, once again, to make sure that you create that transparency piece. You want your investors to know exactly who you are and who you're bringing to the table with you. You don't want them to feel like they're going to be doing all of the financing and all of the work, but you want to make sure that they know that you've done a lot of your due diligence as well. So as you're preparing a lot of this, let them know why you are a good investment. Let them know why your company is a good investment. So once you get going, make sure everything is clear, concise, to the point, just as we've been stating in the previous episodes. That way, if they have questions, you already have those answers because you know exactly what you're saying. And you know this thing like the back of your hand probably around this point. So just make sure you keep it fun and you keep it upbeat and you keep it intriguing. People want to make sure that what they're investing in is something that they're going to enjoy themselves as well. You never know. Your investors may be some of your potential clients. They may bring their friends there. They may bring other people who are wanting to invest in something to your business. So keep all that in mind when you're writing these parts of your business plan. Going back to the company summary, tell a little bit about what the company is, who you are, and why you really want to do this. This is something that you really can kind of drive home. I know we've been talking about this a little bit when it's come to the strategic summary, a little bit when it comes to the mission statement. But this is where you really get to lay it all out on the table, okay? Let them know exactly, why you plan to do what you want to do. Let's say, for instance, why you plan to open up a restaurant in the part of town you want to open it up in. That way they get an idea of your vision. and they can kind of give you more input in your vision as well. Talk a little bit about your location. Why your location is specific to your company, why your location is specific to the type of business that you want to create. That way, if they have any resources that they can provide you, they can give them to you as well. I mean, you got to remember, everybody's in this together now. Most people who invest their money, they're going to also invest their time, they're going to invest their resources, and they're really going to invest themselves. And ultimately, that's what you really gain from having people invest in you. They pour in all themselves into you, so now you're not doing it by yourself. What we also want to include in this portion of your business plan is your management summary. Now, remember I was talking about that opening resume where you really get to sell yourself and get to sell your team? This is where you're going to do that. When you think of your management summary, think of things that, why you're going to be successful, but also why your team is going to be a valuable asset to your company. Anything as far as any licenses you guys may hold, you yourself may hold, anything as far as any kind of experience. And that's really what you really want to drive home. Experience, resources, knowledge of the industry, and also a little bit more so about, why they're a good fit. Typically this can be, it really can be like a resume. Just like a resume, you want to put the experience you have. You want to use a lot of action words. You want to show where you've done a lot of things. You've done something. Not that you assisted works, but you want to show action that you've done something. This lets your investors know that, hey, he has people or she has people on her team that has had experience in this field. They know what they're doing. And also that they're going to be able to give some insight into the company to help it grow. And they're not just working there. This all helps so that, if they even know somebody that has matching criteria, they can bring them onto your team as well. You really just never know. But this is a part where you really want to sell yourself and make yourself look good, okay? Because after all, you want them to know, hey, we're serious about what we're doing and we're passionate about this. And we've already done a lot of the background work. All we're looking for you to do is be a part of this great team that we're going to have. And that's the fun part. Now, when it comes to your startup summary, you also want to make sure you include something called a cost analysis. We're going to touch on this just a little bit, but we're going to kind of, just hit a little bit of the opening parts of it, because we're going to talk about this a little bit more in your financial plan, okay? Because this is a part of your financial plan. But the cost analysis definitely talks a little bit about what you're going to need on opening day. You're going to talk about, any kind of funding that you may need, any kind of money that you may need on hand. Once again, service industries, this is very key, very important. Because if you don't have any cash on hand, especially if you have a service industry, it's going to be hard to kind of operate business if you get more than a handful of customers. And you don't want your customers waiting because you don't have enough cash to either make change, or you don't have enough cash on hand to, exchange money for what they're, for the service that you're providing. Not only that, you want to make sure that you have a good understanding, and you let your investors know that you have a good understanding exactly of anything that could go wrong on opening day. That's a huge part of the cost analysis as well, letting them know just in case this happens, we need this amount of money on hand. Or just in case we don't get as many customers, or we get too many customers. Let's be optimistic. You could get more customers than you think. But we want to let them know that we're thinking about all these things. But one thing that I like to include in this part of the business plan is also the idea that you don't necessarily know everything. So any input that they have, especially if you're just selling it right off the bat, any input that they have at any time is greatly appreciated. That way they know, hey, they're always looking for feedback from us at any time. We don't have to just wait till, they have a once-a-year meeting or something. If we have something we want to tell them about, hey, we can shoot them a line, we can shoot them an email. We can ask questions at any time, and they're going to be available to answer any questions. Just like I am for you guys, right? So just make sure that this is very easy, and it's very, it sets the mood and it sets the tone for your business. One thing that you also want to make sure that you can do is also kind of provide a little life into your business plan. You don't want it to be all just straight, dull, monotone things. I mean, we're setting this tone for the business plan because we want it to be exciting. So that's why we've been doing things the way that we've been doing them so far. But what you also want to do is you want to include a little bit of flavor, if you don't mind. I would say, especially if you're doing a service industry, let's say, for instance, you're doing a restaurant. Maybe a cool thing that you could actually do, and it's something I always recommend, is include a copy of the menu, right? Show them exactly what you're going to be offering to your customers. Let them know exactly how you're going to plan to sell what you're going to sell, but also give them a snippet of what's to come. You know, it kind of gets them intrigued, like, ooh, I want to see what he's going to do next. I want to see how this is going to look on day one. But that way they get a chance to see exactly the vibe that you're going to have. They get a chance to feel you, so to speak. They get a chance to feel your company because they get to see something tangible. And they get to see something that kind of gets them excited and gets them excited as you are about opening day. What we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about more of the HR side of your business plan. One of the main things that you want to make sure that your investors know exactly is kind of the culture of your business. This is probably one of the most important parts of it, right along with everything else. But you want to make sure that they understand exactly the culture that you're going to be creating in your company. Think of companies like Google. One thing you always hear about Google is that it's so fun to be around there. You always hear that, you know, they have a certain amount of time to just be creative. You always hear that people are so happy there, and it's kind of like an adult theme park for the most part. That's their culture. That's what they've created to kind of be the environment where their employees can be as creative as they want, because that's basically what they're really looking to do. They're looking to have innovation, and they're looking to have creativity. So, what makes you different? What kind of culture will you have for your company? What kind of things are going to take place during the day at your company that's going to make your employees always happy and always want to be there? This is the mindset you want to have as you're doing these things. Include things as far as, you know, if you're going to be a family-based company, include some things that you may have as far as special days in the life of your company. You know, you may have a bring your son, bring your daughter to work day. That's kind of cool. You know, maybe your investors may have some input on how you can go about doing that or how you can make that even more fun. Some companies may have a bring your pet, bring your animal to work day. If that's the environment that you want, make sure you portray that in your business plan. That way they can kind of see that that you're alive, that you're actually a company that has a personality. You know, that you're not mundane and that you're not just another company out here trying to be somebody else, but you want to show that you have a personality as a company. You want to show that your company is living and it's kind of on its own. It's in its own world. It's in its own realm of doing things. And also it kind of lightens the mood a little bit. You know, it lets them know that, hey, even though we're here for business today, but ultimately we want our employees happy. That way, you know, they can be courteous and nice towards potential customers that come in. Because honestly, if you're a customer and you come in and you don't see a happy employee, that kind of makes you a little apprehensive about doing business there. I know it does for me. I like to be greeted and smiled at when I go to places. I mean, it lets me know that, hey, this is a cool place to be. This is basically what we're going to want to try to portray throughout the whole business plan. You know, you want to make sure that your business plan has energy. You want to make sure that it paints a vivid picture. And that's why what we're also going to include is a little bit of more creativity. Kind of describe your atmosphere a little bit, if you don't mind. Think about visuals like color schemes or layout. You know, if you're going to have a Mediterranean theme when you walk in, make sure you paint that picture for your investors to see. That way they can kind of get a feel. Okay, this is kind of what they're trying to do. Or, I don't know, maybe we can give some more input on that, or you never know. They may know somebody that can kind of give you a little bit of help with that part of your business plan. And like I said before, don't think you have to do this on your own. I've done this a couple times myself, so I know a little bit of how this works. So reach out to me. Let me know if you want to just send me a question, or you have some concerns, or you're a little apprehensive about doing it yourself. That's fine. I would love to help you write this if you'd like. Facebook.com/Williams Inc. Let me know how you feel. Let me know where you are in the process of your business plan, and I'll be gladly able to assist you and help you in any way that I can. Okay. Now we've talked about a lot. We've gone through a lot of things, and we've talked about a lot of very specific things. But one thing you really want to do as you're going through this process is include a lot of excitement, include a lot of things that may show that you're just as excited about doing this as you want them to be excited about investing in you. Okay? You want to make sure that it's not something where you're just asking for money. That's not, that's ultimately what we hope that they do. But ultimately what we want them to do is that we want them to be excited and intrigued about this and ask you questions. That way you can continue to sell yourself. So don't try to make everything tailored towards getting something from them at every part of your business plan, because ultimately we want them to come back and create a conversation with us. And that's where we're going to really drive it home. That's where we're really going to make this sale happen, okay? So while you're going through this, just portray your energy, portray your happiness about pursuing this, because this is your dream, right? This is what's really going to happen. You're going to finally be able to do this. And you have an audience that's going to listen to you to be able to help you out along the journey. So ultimately, you want to make sure that that's the vibe you're giving off. You're not trying to, sell them something at every turn. You want to use the opportunities in your business plan when they come up, but you want to make sure that overall they just get a vivid picture of, hey, this is going to be something great, and this is an opportunity for you. This is not something that's going to be a burden, but this is an opportunity for you to get in on something very exciting, very new, especially if you're doing something kind of innovative. You want to make sure that they understand that, hey, this is the next big thing, right? This is something that's going to change the world. You want them to be understanding, and you want them to be happy about it just like you are. So keep that in mind as you're writing your business plan, and I promise you, you're going to have a wonderful product. You're going to have something that you're proud of. You're going to have something that your investors are proud of and excited about. You're going to have something that your investors are going to tell their friends about, who may be other investors who may dump more money in your lap. That's always great. It's better to have enough than to have very little and have to, make things work. But overall, you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what's going to happen on day one, and that you have what you need on day one. There's nothing more frustrating than kind of being worrisome about, do I have enough money, or do I have enough supplies, or these kind of things. You want to be happy about your day one. You want to be excited, so when you get that first customer, that can be a milestone moment for you. As a matter of fact, include that as one of your milestones. Customer one, take a picture with the customer, post it on Instagram. Include these things in your business plan so that they can see you're very excited and you have unique ways of engaging your customers, engaging your audience, and making sure that they come back and that they tell their friends, hey, this is the place to be.
What happens when soldiers come home? Brene Foundation offers hero support to ensure that our heroes abroad can continue to be heroes at home. We link veterans with organizations who are dedicated to guiding the transition from military hero to civilian hero. If you want to find out how you can support our troops at home, please contact the Brene Foundation or visit Brene.com.
Does your son need a more challenging, focused, and encouraging educational environment? Renaissance Christian Academy is an affordable private school for boys located in McDonough, Georgia, with certified teachers that are uniquely equipped to help your son master learning. You're welcome to schedule a tour of our facilities by calling 770-305-9881 or by visiting our website at rcaboysacademy.org. Renaissance Christian Academy, developing young men to be great leaders through Christ-centered learning.
We've accomplished a lot on today's show. I hope, if you're watching on a regular basis, one thing you'll notice is that we're very, we're very effective, and we were very productive. We get a lot done, all right? So before we go today, I want to leave you with something about what we're all going to achieve, okay? And that's success, right? We're going to achieve the success because we're putting in the hard work, we're putting in the long hours, but we're also staying happy and motivated. But one thing about success is that it's unique to each individual, okay? Your success may not be the same as my success, or your success may not be the same as somebody else's success. So what you want to keep in mind is not to compare your success with the success of somebody else, right? I think it's Steve Harvey that mentioned that success should be seen like climbing a ladder. Every rung on the ladder is higher than the next. So what you want to keep in mind is that as you're climbing your ladder of success, you're going to have to go through things to get to that next level. But what you also don't want to do is kill your own momentum. You also don't want to let others kill your momentum. Not everybody has the same goals and the same dreams that you do. So protect that aspect of it, all right? Don't be too hurt when you tell people of what you're trying to do or, what your measure of success is and they don't agree with you. Because ultimately what that's going to do is that's going to take your focus and your time away from climbing up your ladder, okay? So just make sure as you're climbing, as you're achieving those milestones, as you're, accomplishing those goals, that you're continuing to climb. You're continuing to move forward. You're continuing to go higher and higher than the day before. Each day is an opportunity to get it right. You're going to have your setbacks sometimes. You're going to have your mishaps. You're going to have times where you wish you would have went left instead of right. That's just life. And that's also casualties of the trade of trying to do something new, do something different, and do something that has not been done before because you haven't done it. So as you're doing these things, make sure you're staying motivated. Keep yourself motivated, stay positive, and as you climb, don't let others distract you from climbing to the next level. Because sometimes that's what some people consider their sole point of existence is to, distract you and keep you from going higher. You can't let them win. You can't let them beat you at that. You got to keep moving forward and you got to keep climbing. So as you're moving forward each day, keep in mind that your success is just that. You measure how your success is going to be measured each day. If it's something where you made a contact, consider that a notch in the win column. If you finally figured out how something is going to work, consider that in the win column. It may not be as fast as you thought it would be, but at least it happened. And that is success, okay? So take that with you, and until we meet next time, we're going to continue to achieve these goals. We're going to continue to make history happen in our lives and in the lives of other people. Because if they want to come with us, we're going to have a good time, and we're going to make something positive and make something great happen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode. Feel free to go online at www.bizlinks.tv to watch previous episodes as well. Also, feel free to reach out to me, onewilliamsenterprises@gmail.com, facebook.com/WilliamsInc, and onewilliamsenterprises.com. Until next time, stay inspired.